Welcome to my YouTube channel, VB Academy of Commerce and Business Studies. I am Dr. Vijayagiri Bhikshapati, Head Department of Commerce, SRR, Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar, Telangana, India. My email address is bvijayagiri@gmail.com. Today I am going to deal with the top chapter called correlation. So it is the part and parcel of Business Statistics 1 BCom second year third semester students in Telangana, all universities in the Telangana. What is correlation? Definition of correlation. Correlation is a statistical technique used to determine the degree of relation between two variables. So correlation and relation, there are two interrelated words, interconnected words, I can say. So there is a relationship must be exist between. So it means there must be some dependency between x and y variables. So the correlation is the first part of knowing whether they are having dependence or not. Dependence is the product of the relation between x and y variables. So the correlation is, say, x, y. These two must have some kind of connectivity must be exist between these two. So for example, how to deal this kind of thing. So for example, in the business we have profit, sales, expenditure or expenses, etc. So you take example of profit, sales, expenses. So generally we are talking about the relation between two variables. This is called relation may be defined as number one bivariate, number two multivariate. Bivariate means, say, only two variables, say x comma y. Variate means x comma y. It may z, a, b, so on. But calculating multivariate correlation, this is called multiple correlation, is very difficult compared to bivariate. Bivariate is little bit easy, can be calculated manually, whereas multivariate data we need assistance of computers to calculate multiple correlation. Okay, so hence will take any two, either we'll call it sales is the one variable and expenditure in another variable, or sales is one variable, expenditure is profit is called second variable. So in this way you can take the data related to correlation. So means if the sales is increases, the profit increases. This is the general phenomena in the business. Business. Whereas the sales and expenditure also having connectivity. If you cut down the expenditure, naturally you will get less material and less production, and then automatically it leads to the lesser sales value. Okay, so it means that the expenditure and sales have interconnectivity. Likewise, sales and profit is also having interconnectivity. So hence, the correlation in the statistics should be calculated to find out whether any relation exists between the x and y. Okay, so we want to know dependency in the next stage, that is called regression analysis. So to find the regression, first we need to find there must be a relation existing between the variables. Okay, so with regarding to this one, we'll go with the next one. So how many types of correlations? There are different kinds of correlations, as I said, multiple correlation in the previous slide. So there are different kinds of correlations. Number one is linear correlation. So another one is non-linear correlation. To express in a graphical format, linear means having a straight line like this. So for example, I am taking an example of demand curve. So maybe it may be a straight line, or it may be a curve also. This is non-linear. Okay, whereas it is linear, straight line is called linear. Okay, so when coming to the linear, however, in our chapter we are going to learn about only linear methods only. Linear method only. Okay, then what are the different kinds of correlations? Positive correlation, negative correlation. Positive means if sales are increased, say sales are increased, then sales are increased, then we can say the positive means we have to write in this way. So I'll write sales and profit. If sales increases, the profit increases. Then what is then what is negative correlation? Negative correlation means if price drop, you reduce the price, it may attract the customers and increase the sales. So this is called negative correlation. So one variable having opposite direction effect on the another variable, this is called negative. One increase, another decrease, another decrease, one increase, like that. So that is what the positive versus negative. Whereas what I said in the positive sales increases, profit increases. This is profit, this is sale, right? So we are going with the third one, simple, multiple, partial. What is simple? Simple correlation means having relation between x and y. Multiple means x, y, z. If you take, what are the dependency or relation between x and y? X and y. So both. This is called multiple. Multiple. So the dependency or the impact of x and y variables on z. If you put further also, you can add. Okay, x, y, z, a, b, c, d, like that. So that is called multiple correlation. Then what is partial correlation? What is the effect of, as I said now, x effect, x effect on z? Even though there is y also exists, but I am not going to deal right now. So I am talking about only x effect on z. Okay, this is what the partial correlation. Partial means half or a part of the total. Then coming to the, what is spurious and non-spurious nonsense correlation? Not and, this is or. Spurious or nonsense correlation means the uh, linking no relative variables. So you cannot link these variables as you like. There must be data, must be at least taken from a related items. Spurious means you take, for example, if you take, if raining effects, raining have impact on agriculture, agriculture, whereas you not asking about the raining, agriculture and computers, growth in the computers and agriculture, though there is no relation at all. Okay, so relation must exist between the variables which are interrelated or interconnected. So you cannot join the independent variables, that is a different one. So passing of BCom not related to passing of BCom not related to what we call passing of BSc. So that is a different category. This is a different category. So both are independent items. Okay. Coming to the next slide. Correlation is correlation methods. How to calculate? So calculation methods. So we can calculate or we can draw by using graphical methods. One is called scattered diagram. This is called scatter diagram. Okay, the scatter diagram method, according to the scatter diagram method, you just plot all the variables on a graph so that the trend, the behavior you can see according to the what we call concentration of the dots or the variables on a graph paper. Okay, in the same way correlation graph also exists. So correlation graph also you just write the curve on the correlation. So that by seeing this one, it is uptrend, increasing one. Okay, whereas you can say that this is declining one. Okay, this is declining one. The relation exists in the supply when compared to the price is you can see in the economics that when price increases, the supply decreases. When price increases, the supply increases. When the price decreases, the supply decreases. Whereas the demand is the same price and demand, so it is like this demand curve, demand and supply, demand and supply. Okay, likewise. So with regarding to demand and supply, so the behavior changes. One is supply, one is demand. Okay, this is I'll correct it. Okay, so this is called S curve, this is called D curve, demand curve. Okay, so the behaviorally purpose, so this is the demand one, this is the S curve. So the price and the quantity, price and quantity. So it shows the relationship graph between these two. Okay, with regarding to the correlation, we can draw using the graphical method as well as the correlation graph method. Okay, next one is called mathematical expressions or mathematical methods, where you can calculate by relative measure. Relative measure means coefficient. Coefficient means what? So this is expressed, Karl Pearson method is expressed RP. This is RS. This is concurrent deviation RC. C means concurrent deviation. So here it is expressed the R greater than -1 greater than +1. Okay, so R is between -1 and +1. R means correlation. Okay, so it means it is the coefficient is a what we call, it's a single numerical expression. It is having the value between -1 and +1. Okay, if 0 exists, 0, the answer is R is equal to 0, it means you have to interpret that there is no correlation. No correlation. So R is equal to -1, so negative correlation. So R is equal to +1 or plus value up to 1, you can say plus values up to 1, it is a positive correlation. Right. So for the purpose of the calculations and the formulas and etc., so the Karl Pearson method was dealt in a previous class, that was a different class, and it is detailedly explained in that class. You can see my video in the previous classes. So next one is the Spearman rank method. It is also covered in one of my previous class, and today I'll deal with the concurrent deviation method. So concurrent deviation method is one among the methods to calculate correlation coefficient. It is after Carl Pearson, Spearman rank, and the third one is the concurrent deviation. So you can say this is the priority method. It means best method, or used means mostly used method. Then the secondly used method is secondly used method. Then, so not so prominent, but you concurrent deviation also used in the correlation coefficient. Okay, finding the correlation coefficient. So we are dealing with the concurrent deviation method under the correlation coefficient method. Then what is the concurrent deviation method? Concurrent deviation method of determining the correlation on the basis of direction of the deviation. So the word is very, very important. What we want to know? Direction, whether it is uptrend or downtrend. So inclining, so declining. Okay. Under this method, the concurrent deviations are assigned, plus deviations are assigned plus or minus or 0. 0 means where there are equal values in the previous and the present, then it is 0. Okay. So, and taking into consideration of the direction of the deviation. This is what the concurrent deviations method. So according to this method, we assign plus value or minus value to the deviations. Okay. The next one, what are the steps involved in the correlation, concurrent deviation correlation method? Then the series X and Y are to be studied for correlation. So this is concurrent. You can see concurrent deviation method. Each item of the series is compared with its preceding item. So previous item, it is compared with the previous item. So the if the value is more than the preceding value, then it is its deviation is assigned plus value. So whereas if less than the preceding value, then it is given negative value. If equals, it is given 0. Okay. After this, the third item is compared with the second, fourth item is compared with third, like that. This goes on till the deviations of all items are worked out. Okay. The deviations of x and y, the next step, what is the next step? The deviations of x and y series, that is dx and dy, are multiplied. So to get the product dx dy, the product of similar signs will be positive or opposite signs will be negative. This we know the mathematical expression. So plus into plus, plus, minus into minus, plus, so minus into plus, minus, plus into minus, minus. This is what the operators, for how the operators work. The next, summing the positive dx dy, we want only positive values, that is the plus signs only, plus sign only. So their number is counted, that is summation of dx dy, summation of dx dy. So that is, we want only positive signs. It is called here C. C is the positive signs denoted by the concurrent deviations. It is called concurrent deviations. Then we use the formula to find out the different coefficient of concurrent deviations. That is called RC. I said RC. So RC is equal to plus or minus under root of plus or minus 2C minus N divided by N. This is the formula for concurrent deviations. Then what is R? R is equal to, as I said, correlation coefficient of concurrent deviations. C means number of concurrent deviations, that is the positive or positive signs. Positive signs. Then N is equal to number of pairs of observations minus 1. Minus 1. That is capital N minus 1. So N is equal to N minus 1. Okay, capital N minus 1. Why? What is capital N? Capital N means number of pairs. Number of pairs minus 1 should be done. So means number of pairs must be less than with one pair. So this is regarding to the formula for concurrent deviations. We'll go with an example for calculating concurrent deviations. The data has been taken, the IQ of the students, then hours of class per week. So the students attended the hours of class per week and their IQ levels are taken into consideration and asked to calculate the correlation. Okay, then so how many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 pairs. So 10 pairs. The capital N is equal 10. Okay, capital N is equal 10. Then we'll take into the, so I'm writing capital N. Capital N is equal to, capital N is equal to 10. Okay, so that is 10 pairs. Then we'll consider how to calculate the dx dy, that is the positive sign, the signing. So you first you take this line. So this line like this, 86 is the first one, first element or the data. Okay, so sign of the dx dy. So I am talking about this one. Okay, so previous to 86, are there any values? No, hence we are not considering this value. So I am talking about that this is empty. Okay, okay, the first line always empty because there is no comparison values. Then with basing this one we'll calculate the second one. Comparing to the 86, 97 bigger one or lesser one, is there an increase or not? So yes, there is an increase. So up to, so whatever it may be, because the quantity leave out, but 11 levels, 11 numbers are increased. So even one increase is enough for us. Means 86, 97, there is a increase, right? The plus value. Then 97 to 99, so plus value. 99 to 100, plus value. 100 to 101, plus value. 103, plus value. 103 to 6, plus value. 106 to 10, plus value. 112, 110 to 112, plus value. 112 to 113, plus value. So all are increasing mode. They are increasing mode. Hence you got everyone plus value. Okay, done. Now we'll take into consideration of the second line, y hours per week. Then what is the first value? 0. Before that nothing is there, hence it is empty. Then 0 to comparing to 0, there is 20, means plus value. So 20 to 28, so increase into 8 means plus value. 28 to 27 decreased 1 minus value. 27 to 50, 27 to 50, then plus value. 50 to 29 minus value. 29 to 7, this is a decrease. Then 7 to 17, further once again increase, then decrease, then increase. 6 to 12. Okay, so we have so far calculated the signs, the positive and negative signs. These are called concurrents. These are called deviations. Then this is concurrent deviations. See current deviations, concurrent deviations. Okay, as usual, first line empty, means nothing, no symbol, so hence empty. Then next line, plus into plus value, this is plus value. Plus into plus value, plus into minus value, plus into plus value, then plus into minus value, plus into minus value, plus into plus value, plus into minus value, plus into plus value. Now you consider only the positive values, leave the negative values. Positive values: 1, number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So summating the positive values, you get C is equal to 5. Okay, 5 values are positive values exist. Then so interpreting the values we got in the formula. So what is the formula? RC is equal to plus or minus under root of plus or minus 2C minus n by n. Okay, so as we know, R means concurrent deviations, C means concurrent deviations taken positive signs. Then n is equal to number of pairs minus 1. So small n. Then here what is the role of the root and the why 2 times the plus and minus are inside kept, and it is also mentioned here, and it is also mentioned here. Why? Because there is a limitation for the concurrent deviation method. If you get 4 is the value within the bracket, within the under root, then there is no problem, you will get under root 2. Okay, then by chance you get the minus 4 value, then you cannot answer, or there is no procedure for finding root for minus or negative values so far. Okay, then you cannot find. That's why leaving the plus or minus here until the under root calculation only, then you put the value. So you put the minus 2 as it is after that, that's what it is. So you take plus or minus, the same plus or minus values are carry forward to here, from here to here, so that the calculation difficulties are removed. Okay, so minus 2, actually minus 2 into minus 2 also have the value of 4 plus 4 under root, but even though you get minus 4, you have to calculate the root. This is the very major limitation of the concurrent deviation method, where mathematicians cannot accept this kind of deviations from leaving the minus and plus values as it is. Okay, so we'll take into the values. How many c's are there? 5 c's. 2, it is given in the formula itself. 2 into 5, 2 into 5 minus what is 9? N minus 1. N is equal to 10. So n is equal to 10, is equal to n is equal to 10 minus 1. Small n is equal to capital N minus 1 is equal to 9. Okay, so minus 9 divided by 9. Once again 9. Okay, so 10 minus 9 is equal to, you will get 2 5 are 10. 10 minus 9 is equal to, you will get the 1. 1 is the answer. So 9 already exists. So 1 by 9. What is 1 by 9? 1 by 9, you by simplifying that, you will get the 0.11. 0.11 by calculator. Okay, so 1111 like it going, but I have taken only two values. So for that, since it is a plus value, there is no problem. 10 minus 9 is equal to plus 1 plus value. This is the plus value, hence 1 by 9. So plus 0.11. So here r is equal to 0.11 under root is equal, you get the plus 0.33. This is the positive value. Positive up to what? 0.33. 0.33 means 33% positive from 0 to 1. Okay, so positive. Then how to comment this one? There is a positive relation between x and y variable. X and y variable. X and y variables. So what are the x and y variable? X means we studied the IQ of the student, and hours spent in the classroom. Hours spent in classes have positive correlation or impact. Relation on student's IQ level. Okay, this is what the answer. Okay, so there is a positive relation. What extent? To the extent of 33% or 0.33 times. Okay, 0.33. Hence, so the concurrent deviation uses the plus or minus values, and that itself is the demerit for the concurrent deviation method. But whereas calculation is very easy, just putting the plus sign, minus sign, and simply. So whereas in the correlation coefficient of Karl Pearson method, there are complicated calculations which require mathematical level of understanding of the students to do the Karl Pearson method. So hence, for the easy method, the concurrent deviation method is very easy, where the next easy method is Spearman-Ranks method, and the more difficult method is Karl Pearson method. So with this, I hope I have completed the concurrent deviation method, and I have covered all the top points in this one. So with this, I conclude my the correlation coefficient chapter. Thank you one and all. Please subscribe my YouTube channel, VB Academy of Commerce. and business studies. Thank you.